I've never seen such arrogant criminals. Faced with the police's attempt to arrest him, he didn't panic at all. Instead, he stood there bare-chested with his hands raised, because doing so could reduce the harm he would suffer. But being arrested was only the beginning of his plan, because next he was going to complete his revenge. It turns out that 10 years ago, the main character John originally had a happy family, but two robbers suddenly broke into his home, attacked him with weapons, then tied his hands with zip ties. The robbers' original plan was just a simple robbery, but when one of them saw John's beautiful wife, Jack immediately changed his mind. A tragedy happened. In that moment, John felt an overwhelming sense of despair. A happy family was shattered. He placed his hope in the law to punish those two demons, but the law didn't bring John justice. They only sentenced Jack to 3 years in prison. The two criminals could have been sentenced to death, but the prosecutor, in order to maintain his win record, actually agreed to a plea deal with the defense lawyer. Then he told John, the main criminal Jack, agreed to testify against his accomplice. Based on the evidence they had, Jack's accomplice would be sentenced to death, and Jack would be charged with third-degree murder and sentenced to 3 years. John couldn't accept this result. He had witnessed them kill his wife and daughter. After the trial ended, the mastermind Jack arrogantly shook hands with the prosecutor and chatted, and John saw all of this with his own eyes. Since the law couldn't give him justice, he would take matters into his own hands with brutality. 10 years passed in the blink of an eye. Jack was at home watching TV. When he saw his former accomplice die for him, he laughed out loud with joy. But suddenly a mysterious phone call came in, telling him to look outside the window quickly, because the police had already started to capture him. If he didn't want to get caught, he should listen to the caller's instructions. Jack hurriedly put on his clothes and followed the mysterious person's instructions to run to the rooftop to draw the attention of the police below. Then he ran to an abandoned factory. The mysterious person had prepared a getaway police car for him there. The police officers in the car were already knocked out. Jack took the weapon and woke the officer up. He forced him to drive him to a safe place. After escaping the chase, Jack didn't plan to spare the officer. Just as he was about to shoot the officer and send him to God, his phone rang again.
You know why I'll never see my wife and little girl again?
To his shock, the officer in front of him was actually the mysterious person. He took off his disguise and revealed his true face. By the time Jack realized what was happening, it was too late. The mechanism on the grip was already triggered, and he completely lost his ability to resist.